Welcome to Sportsmen of Colorado, Colorado's premier outdoor radio show, heard every Saturday afternoon on KLZ 560, with insights on hunting, fishing, archery, guns, and ammo from Colorado's top outfitters, featuring the industry's leading experts on how to enhance your experience in the great outdoors. Now, here's your host, Scott Whatley.
Welcome to Sportsman of Colorado. Thank you so much for joining us today. My name is Scott Whatley. I am very, very excited for our first guest today. We are going to go all the way to New Zealand, and we are looking forward to the International Sportsmen's Expo. By the way, that will be January the 12th through the 15th at the Colorado Convention Center, and we'll give you more details on that, and we are going to be giving away some tickets for that as well. But let's go to the phones. We've got Jim Gibson with us from New Zealand Safaris. Jim, how are you today?
Yeah, very good. Thanks, Scott.
Well, it is great to have you with us, and I tell you, I have always thought about New Zealand, and looking at your website, which, by the way, is newzealandsafaris.com, I am ready to get there, but it may be next year before I can do it, just time and budget a little bit, but I am looking forward to it, and we are certainly looking forward to having you here in Denver at the International Sportsmen's Expo, but we can talk about that a little bit later in our segment. So tell us just a little bit about yourself and how you got involved in having New Zealand Safaris.
Oh, well, Scott, like probably many of your listeners, you know, it'd be fair to say I'm a pretty avid hunter, and well, kind of, it's a bit of a funny story, but I mean, I grew up hunting here, and you know, since a young fella, and to be honest, Scott, I saw a lot of my buddies getting married, and they weren't allowed to go hunting with me, you know, and we'd be out eggs and deer, and you know, all sorts of things. So I thought, you know what, I want to keep hunting. I love hunting. I love being out in those hills and the, you know, the camaraderie and that. And so I thought, guiding, you know, and I didn't know anything about it. So I kind of did a bit of an apprenticeship, you know, long story short, did a bit of an apprenticeship, and 10 years later, you know, I own New Zealand Safaris now. So that's sort of how I got into it, Scott. So
wow.
I'm still out there hunting all right.
That's awesome. So tell us a little bit about, you know, when people come over here for the first time, what are some of the things that you hear from clients just about being in New Zealand and hunting with you when they're over there for the first time?
Well, you know, Scott, I mean, the game, you know, because they're so different than many people have hunted, is obviously, for the hunters in particular, is a big thing. But what also is very important in New Zealand is our scenery and the people. You know, it's a real different lifestyle down here, Scott, especially in the South Island, and a lot of comments that I get, you know, New Zealand's like the US was back in sort of the 1970s sort of thing, which, you know, I kind of take that as a compliment. It's a pretty, you know, relaxed lifestyle down here and that. So it's everything, including the game. You know, the people are pretty easygoing, and the scenery is pretty amazing. You know, we've got glaciers. You know, you can see glaciers 20 minutes from the lodge here.
Wow.
So it's pretty, and not a lot of travel time, Scott. You know, like all my hunting around here in the area, the furthest you travel from the lodge is about 40 minutes. So, you know, you're not sort of spending a lot of time travelling, and then, you know, you got properties that they can have red stag, you know, down in the river valleys and tar up a bit higher. So when you're hunting, you're not typically just sort of seeing one animal. You know, potentially you could see, you know, two. So it's quite neat, you know. So it's the whole thing combined, you know, that people really enjoy, and I enjoy the people, and it's that whole experience, I believe.
Absolutely. If you're just joining us, our guest is Jim Gibson. New Zealand Safaris is the company. NewZealandSafaris.com is their website. Once again, you can meet Jim at the 2017 International Sportsmen's Expo. Their booth will be 2946. We'll be there as well with our Sportsmen of Colorado booth, and we are looking forward to having Jim there. Now, what I guess the red stag seems to be what, you know, had caught my eye just looking at your website and different things. But talk about some of the other species over there that people love to come over and hunt with you.
Yeah, Scott, I mean, the red stag is probably, from a hunting perspective, what New Zealand's really famous for. But not too far behind it, especially for New Zealand safaris, is the bull tahr. An amazing animal. Originally, they were they still are from the Himalayas in Nepal, and they were gifted to New Zealand back in the 1800s. So the bull tahr is probably not far behind the red stag. And then you've got your alpine chamois, your fallow bucks, your ram, your goat. Then you've got your Indian sika, sika, and rusa deer, your wallaby, your small varmints, your ducks, your geese. We have got whitetail and elk here also. So there's quite a diverse range of game that a lot of people are quite surprised just how many animals we have here, including birds.
Right. Now, how do you work out, is it best for people of course, we hope everyone will come and see you here in Denver at the International Sportsman's Expo, but if people contact you through your website, newzealandsafaris.com, do they just kind of give you an idea of the different game they want to hunt, and you just kind of work out those packages on an individual basis?
Yeah, that's right, Scott. Everyone's different and like to do different things, and that's the neat part about it. So,
sure.
It's a matter communicating, and I personally handle it all myself, and I like to also give my clients a call, and we just work through, it comes down to three things. I think it's obviously the budget that you can allow, that the animals that you'd like to hunt, and how many days would you like to hunt, and also a lot of people go sightseeing after the hunt, so I just work through what each person wants to do, and bringing their wives and their kids, and we just work through it and tailor that hunt to each individual sort of group or people.
Well, that's a great way to do it, that you're flexible like that, because like I say, everybody is different on what they want to do. Some people may want to hunt a few days, then sightsee a few days, and so it's great to be able to do that. Now, what about, I think I just think of all the things people ask me when we've hunted over in different countries and all about getting the trophies back, and, if they want to get them mounted and different things like that. So what do you suggest? I mean, do you suggest doing taxidermy work over there and getting it shipped back, or how do you go about that?
Look, Scott, that's, again, personal preference. I would say probably 70 to 80% of my clients get it expedited back to their own town or their own taxidermist they have.
Okay.
To be honest, I probably think it is cheaper. So the process of that over here is, after we've shot the animal, and taken photos and that, we skin out the animal. I then put it in the freezer and tag it. And once we've finished that hunt, I head down the road to the taxidermist, who's only 30 minutes away. And then from there, he takes the client's details, he salts the skins and dries them, crates them and sends them back to the US. So from the time the animal's shot to the time it arrives, it's usually about 3 months. So it's a pretty quick turnaround. Wow. As far as expedite. Yeah.
Okay, great. Again, if you're just joining us, our guest is Jim Gibson, New Zealand Safaris. You can check out their website at newzealandsafaris.com. Again, he will be at the International Sportsman's Expo here in Denver, January 12th through the 15th. And that's booth number 2946. And I'll tell you what, certainly not going to lock Jim into anything, but if you'll mention you heard him on our show, I promise you he'll do something a little extra special for you. Now, what caliber of rifle do you recommend? I mean, do you have kind of a minimum caliber because you don't know the range you're shooting? Or let's talk about the firearm a little bit and then transporting it over there too.
Okay, Scott, I'll start with the transportation. Really easy to get firearms into New Zealand. The only thing that we're not allowed to bring into New Zealand are pistols and military-style weapons. Okay. But the rest, no problem at all. So I'll send you out the online hunting form to fill out, and you just fill that out, on the computer. Send it sort of about 2 or 3 weeks before you come over. You bring 25 New Zealand dollars with you. You'll get into customs in typically Auckland. hand over the $25. The police there will have a quick talk to you, and that's it. And on the way out with your firearm, they don't check your gun at all. So it's really easy,
Wow.
bringing firearms in compared to the rest of the world. As far as caliber, Scott, what I tell a lot of clients is what do you shoot best?
Yeah,
If you want to bring that one you like shooting, I'd rather you bring one you're comfortable with rather than one that's got a lot of recoil and you just don't know,
Yep, I've seen that.
To be honest, when you start talking stag and tar, they're pretty big animals. You're kind of talking similar to that of an elk and a mountain goat, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
So caliber-wise, everyone's got their own favourite caliber, Scott, and personally, I've got my own firearms here. A lot of clients that are travelling don't like to bring their own guns, so I've got a couple of 7mm Magnums.
Yeah.
I think they're a great caliber on the bigger game. I've also got smaller guns for your smaller game, but I mean that 7mm mag is a really nice caliber to use. And the good thing over here, Scott, is we can buy suppressors over the counter. So I have a lot of my guns suppressed, and that means that really quiet. There's no noise travel down the valley when that gunshot goes off. Animals don't get as spooky, and that recoil. My daughter, who's 9 years old, can shoot that 7mm Magnum, and wives and other kids can shoot it. So that's the beauty about those suppressors. They're just really nice to use. So
no, I tell you, I just hunted with one the first time just a few weeks ago. We did a hog hunt down in Texas, and I had a 308 with a suppressor, and I'm telling you, it is amazing. And so hopefully with our election going the way it did, our suppressors will be a little bit easier to get here too.
Yeah, I hear you, Scott. That's right. No, they're really good to use. Look, in caliber, whatever you feel comfortable with. You probably want something around 6.5 or bigger.
Sure.
But you know what, Scott? Whatever you shoot best, mate.
Right. Well, I tell you what, we're going to try to do this one more time with you, Jim, before you come here, but we're certainly going to be promoting your appearance here in Denver for the International Sportsman's Expo, and we will look forward to seeing you there, and then really looking forward to getting over there and hunting with you as well.
Hey, that's great, Scott, and I appreciate you giving me time to talk, and I look forward to meeting all the hunters there coming to the Sportsman Expo and sitting down and talking about what's important to their hunt.
Absolutely. This is Jim Gibson, New Zealand Safaris. Check out their website, newzealandsafaris.com. Again, the International Sportsman's Expo, they will have a booth there. That's January 12th through the 15th. That booth number is 2946. We've got to take a short break, and we'll be back with more right after this.
Have you been in a car wreck? Hurt by the fault of another? Is the insurance company frustrating you? Hi, I'm Kevin Flesch, and my firm Flesch Law can help you. Please call me at 303-806-8886. Flesch Law has been helping those affected by accidents for over 20 years. Flesch Law has the experience to help you. We offer a free consultation, and we only get paid when you get your money. Flesch Law will do everything we can to maximize your claim. Find us on the web at Flesch Law Firm, that's F-L-E-S-C-H, lawfirm.com, or call us 303-806-8886. I'm Kevin Flesch, and I'll help you get the compensation you deserve. Stop worrying and let us fight for you.
Hi, this is Scott Whatley. If you're looking for a genuine hunting, professional outfitting, high-quality game, and great food and accommodations, I highly recommend New Zealand Safaris.